Hey everybody, and welcome back to It's Only Food with Chef John Politte. Today we're going to be showing you how to make pan-fried walleye. Cue the music. Alright, well thanks a lot for joining us today. I appreciate you being here. Like I said, today we're going to be making pan-fried walleye. So let's drop down here and see what we got for our ingredients. I got a walleye fillet, 1 cup of all-purpose flour, 4 eggs, 1 teaspoon of garlic powder, 1 teaspoon of onion powder, 1 teaspoon of paprika, half a teaspoon of salt, half a teaspoon of pepper, 1 cup of panko breadcrumbs, 1/4 cup of vegetable oil, and 1 tablespoon of butter. Let's start making this. Alright, basically what we want to do here is set up our components for our dredging station. So I've got our flour in a bowl. I'm going to go ahead and add our salt and pepper, the garlic and the onion salt, or powder, and our paprika. And I'm going to just blend that all in. Now you can season your breadcrumbs too. I've done that in the past, but right now we're just going to season our flour, because you'll see that when we come back to the tasting part of this video. So set those off to the side. Then we got our eggs. We're just going to beat these. We got our 3 components for our dredging station. Let's move over to our dredging station behind me and we'll bread up our fish. Alright, now I cut the fish in half because you saw how big of a fillet that it was, and you got to think about plating at the end and cooking time and the size of your pan as well too. So I just cut it in half. Gives us 2 nice little halves to play with. So press it into your flour, seasoned flour. And you just take it right out of there, put it into your egg wash. Like I said, you can season your egg wash, you can season your flour, and you can season your breadcrumbs, but you want to be sure that you season the flour, anything that's closest to the flesh. You want to have that seasoned so when you bite into it, you're going to be able to taste the flavor of the seasonings on there. You will on the outside, but you want it close to the flesh. Right, and there it is. There's one all ready to go. I'm going to set it off on a plate right there, and we'll do this other one. And we'll go meet you back over there by the stove and we'll start pan frying this walleye. Alright, we are here at the stove. We got a pan, we got our walleye, we got our oil and butter and a spatula to turn it. So I'm going to focus on the pan and then we'll start cooking this up. Alright. Key to this is a nice moderately high and medium heat. You don't want to burn it, but you want to cook it all the way through as well without making it too dark on the outside. So you want to get a good heat on it. You want to make sure your walleye, if you've got it in the freezer, make sure it's totally thawed. You don't want it frozen in the middle when you do it. If you do, that's great. I mean, turn your oven on after you've browned it and got it nice and crispy on both sides. You can throw it in the oven just to make sure that it's cooked all the way through in the middle. But don't turn your heat up too high. You don't want to burn the outside. You want a nice color crust on there, and you want to make sure that fish is cooked all the way through. So I'm going to let this oil and the butter get hot, and we'll start cooking it. Alright, we've got our oil and butter are shimmering and a little bit of bubble going on. So I'm going to go ahead and throw the walleye right in there, and we'll start frying this up. I'm going to go about 4 or 5 minutes on each side. Alright, let's have a look, see what it looks like. Oh, get that little piece of right there. Nice. Got a little shimmer on that. Got the bubbles on there too. Now I just flipped it over. I'm going to let that cook and match up the same color on that. Alright, we got the same color crust on both sides. I'm going to pull this out. And to be honest with you, this was frozen a little bit, so I'm going to throw it in my microwave just to make sure it's cooked all the way through before I plate it up. But there it is. This is nice, and it smells fantastic, but it's not cooked all the way through, so I'm gonna hit it in the microwave. I will meet you back over on our other tabletop. We've got a nice plate full of food over there. We're gonna take pictures of it, and we're gonna come back and we're gonna taste this, so do not go away. Another shot there. This is crispy. Let me just give it a taste first before I start telling. Wow. Crunchy, crispy. Those breadcrumbs cooked in the vegetable oil and the butter are just awesome. And it really gives a nice layer to the outside of the fish. Fish is cooked perfectly, very tender, flaky. I don't know if you can see that. White, opaque all the way through. Remember, you want to cook the outside, get it nice and crispy at a nice moderate heat. You don't want to burn it, but you also want to make sure the inside of the fish is cooked all the way to 145 degrees in an internal temperature. Don't feel bad if you have to microwave it or put it in the oven, especially if you're doing a bunch of them. But you want to make sure you're getting it up to at 145 degrees internal temperature. You won't hurt the integrity of the outside if you do put it in the microwave or the oven. It might brown just a little bit more in the oven, but microwave won't kill it. But awesome piece of fish. I appreciate you watching. Pan-fried walleye. I'm going to dig into this. This is my dinner tonight. Recipe is in the description box of the first pinned comment. Don't forget to look at that. We'll see you next time. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.
These rappers don't listen. Well, let me show them something. You hear that beat bumping from the soul kitchen. Now what you fixing up? Good food, soul food, come and pick it up. These rappers don't listen. Well, let me show them something. You hear that beat bumping from the soul kitchen.